This is Whitemane's Maelstrom, their only Cataclysm realm. It merged with Deathwing, which was a fast progression, fresh realm that launched only a few months ago. It's Thursday, 8 p.m. peak time. We have 1,177 players online right now, and that is both factions included. This is what the capital city looks like. Orgrimmar, enough people out here. I was expecting this server to be doing a little bit better, but we can see that Cataclysm Classic took a lot of players away. And of course, this server's been at the end of its progression for quite a while already. Most of the PvE players are gone by now. There's some PvP players. PvP overall is very active on the server. This is the dual zone for Horde, but of course we have the Path of War feature, which makes us able to get into PvP zone. So this is where most of the PvP action, like duels, are taking place. And what you can't see is the chat. We have the solo queue arena announcer, that is 33 solo queue. We only have one player in arena and 0 teams in queue. So that doesn't seem to be a very popular option, but we have one team in queue for 2v2 and 27 players in arenas. So considering that it's Thursday and it's not weekend and there's definitely a lot more people playing on the server on weekends, I would say there's probably like 500 players more on Saturday and Sunday. Also because of the weekend boost to currency gains and so on that you're getting on Whitemane. Not a big fan of that. I think it would be a lot smarter to incentivize gameplay during week when there's less players playing on the server instead of weekends. So I would much rather see it more balanced across the week. So it's not like almost dead server from Monday to Friday and then popping on Saturday and Sunday. This PvP zone is the same for both factions. We can see human paladins, night elf druids, me of course and blood elf paladin. So there's both factions hanging out here. If you want to know more about this Path of War feature, I already mentioned it and made a separate video about it and what it means. You have those custom vendors where you can buy all the gems, enchants, gear. You're starting at level 85 instantly if you choose to go through the Path of War, or you can level up your character the normal way and be able to play a PvE as well as I did with this paladin. And then you're also able to access this PvP zone as well. And this is what Alliance Capital looks like. We can also see a decent amount of players, but from what I'm seeing, it looks like there's way less players on the Alliance side. We can use the .serverinfo command to find out details about the population. We have 48.4% Alliance and 51.2% Horde online at this moment. That looks like the factions are pretty even, but looking at the capital cities, I can't really see that many players here compared to Orgrimmar. You tell me what that means. I think in Orgrimmar overall, there's more PvE players on Horde side, and there's more PvP players on Alliance. So maybe we would see more alliances in that PvP zone instead of them just hanging out here in the capital city. Server uptime 7 days and 16 hours. So there was no server restart or crash since over a week ago. Pretty impressive. Stability wise, I can still see some bugs and glitches here and there on the server. But overall, this is still the go-to, the #1 best Cataclysm private server right now for the international player. Maelstrom realm existed since a year and a half ago, which is pretty impressive to hold on to a solid population still after many months of its existence. Whitemane is still among probably my top 3 World of Warcraft private servers right now and will be for 2024. However, Whitemane is not just Maelstrom Cataclysm. Whitemane is also Frostmourne WotLK. They're still relatively new Wrath of Lich King realm. The population right now, 2,025 players overall on the server. That includes both factions. Again, it's Thursday after 8 p.m., which we could probably consider their peak time. And again, on weekends, there's that bonus currency gains, bonus XP you get on Saturdays and Sundays. So there will be probably somewhere around 2,500 players online on weekends. Solid count, it definitely decreased over the last few weeks, but that's obvious because it's a fresh server, and as the hype goes down a little bit, people start leaving the server. Having over 2,000 players at peak is still very impressive. We got this Path of War features also on Frostmourne realm. Lets you create a max level character instantly without the need of getting experience. This is the gear you get. You get full savage gear. There's a few players playing PvP right now. In chat it says 2v2 arena. There's one team in queue, 4 players in arenas. Not very active. I would probably not recommend the server for PvP. Unfortunately, you will still have to go with the pay-to-win Whitemane. Obviously, don't expect any 3v3 activity. There's BGs. Battlegrounds are definitely happening. Takes about some 5 to 10 minutes on average to get into a battleground. That's my experience with queuing up BGs. And I did a few of them on the server already. A solid Wrath of Lich King server, probably number 2 international Wrath of Lich King currently. Just behind Whitemane, obviously. Unfortunately, I don't have a max level character, so I cannot show you what Dalaran looks like. With the Path of War character that I have, you're stuck to the PvP zone and you cannot leave it. One of the criticisms of people playing on the server was that there's many Spanish speaking people who don't wanna or can't speak English, so that could be a bit annoying. But still, in the world chat you mostly see people speaking English, creating groups, looking for players for their groups, for raiding, dungeons and so on. So PvE seems to be active. PvP unfortunately not so much. So for those of you that want active PvP, I would still look around for a different server. Whitemane, WoW Circle, although they're pay to win, that's the best we have and the only real popular Wrath of Lich King servers for PvP. This unfortunately will not cut it. Those 3 or 4 teams maximum in 2v2 is just not enough. But still a solid server, decent population. So if you want something newer, fresher, Frostmourne is definitely something you could give it a try. And Whitemane's future? Well, let's have a look at this official announcement by Gaga. He's talking about fresh Cataclysm realm that will be happening after Cataclysm Classic is over. So that might bring a lot of players over from Cataclysm Classic to Whitemane, because there will be no official option to play Cataclysm on. As it was with Wrath of Lich King TBC, I don't think there will be any Cataclysm Classic Legacy server. I think it's pretty safe to say that Classic will move on to Mists of Pandaria expansion. And so that could be a point where Whitemane's Cataclysm becomes a little bit more popular again. And also Mists of Pandaria. It is official that Whitemane's been working on Mists of Pandaria. I don't think it would be coming anytime soon. I don't think it's something you should be expecting in 2024. But 2025, before Mists of Pandaria Classic comes out. So you can be expecting videos from me if we have any news regarding Mists of Pandaria and Whitemane. So subscribe, like, comment, you know what to do. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Oh, this is what you wanted to see.